folks, if you're learning blues guitar, I think the hands down most important chord shape to be really familiar with is the E shape. There are so many notes, so many riffs, so many licks literally right under your fingertips that just countless rock and blues songs have come from that shape. So many songs come out of there, as I said, either in the first position, E here, or moved up the fretboard. For the moment, we're just going to talk about this first position, E chord here. So the first notes to look at for some licks with this chord shape are the notes you're actually fretting here. And all you got to do, like with this ring finger, or middle finger rather, you're fretting it in the chord. Pick it up, play that string, and while it's ringing, just hammer. It's called a hammer-on. So that hammer-on right there on the 5th string is great. You can hammer on the 4th string. Ring finger at the 2nd fret. You can hammer on at the 3rd string. Index finger at the 1st fret. Now you don't have to do it like that. You can like just go to the 4th string, or you can keep hammering it on. I added another note. Don't worry about that one. Back to the 6th string here. Very bluesy. Okay, cool. All right, now let's look at what happens if we add a couple other notes that aren't currently in the chord. First of all, we're going to look at the notes on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. It's a G note. It's what you call a flat 3rd in regards to the E. G. Well, that sounds really cool. Then you can do the same thing on the 1st string because this is an E. This E down here, it's also an E. It's 2 octaves higher, but it's an E. So anything you do on the 6th string, you can do on the 1st string. You lean on that string with your pinky, maybe bend a little bit, then resolve it to the E open. That's a very, very bluesy sound. Maybe you hit the E first. E, E. Now you do that combined with some of those hammer-ons. Now we're getting real bluesy, right? Now we got the flat 7, which is the pinky note, playing the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. If you know an E7 chord, put your pinky down here. That's the E7 chord, right? Well, if you just play that note, that's a 7. It's a D. It's the E chord, so E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That D note is a 7th, specifically a flat 7, but don't worry about that, it's a 7th. You play that and resolve it back up to that 1, the E. Also real bluesy, so we're just adding to our list here. Another one is what you call the 4. Your ring finger is playing the 4th string at the 2nd fret. If you lay your index finger is playing the 3rd string at the 1st fret. This is the 1 and the 3 of the chord, E and G sharp. If you lay your ring finger down, you're going to play an A note. The 2nd fret of the 3rd string is an A because it's G open, G sharp A. So if E is 1, E, F, G, A is 4. So you play that ring finger and you just lay it down. So you go 1, 4, 1. Now that by itself sounds a little, I guess abstract. But when you combine it with this hammer on the index finger, you get this. I mean, quintessential Muddy Waters. Good habit to practice muting and hitting the strings with a percussive feel. The next note we're going to look at is what you call the flat 5. When you're playing your E chord, your middle finger is playing the 5th string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th string, at the 2nd fret. That is a B note. E is our root, it's an E chord, it's a B. E, F, G, A, B. That's the kind of quick and dirty way of doing it. There's more to it than that, but for y'all who are learning, that'll work. For y'all who know more, then you know more. It's cool. So, that's what you call the 5. That's a B note. If you play this note here, it's a flat. It's a B flat. So if B is the 5, then B flat is the flat 5, okay? You add that flat 5 into the mix, and it's a real funky, dirty sound, right? It's if you play it just 1, which is E, to the flat 5, that's some real dissonant stuff. In fact, I think I had heard that was even outlawed in the Middle Ages. It was so evil. Which, of course, Black Sabbath goes right to that for their song, Black Sabbath. Different key, but it's still what you call the flat 5. So we're going to add that flat 5. Let's go back to E. We're going to add the flat 5 in. So you got, there's your 4, flat 5, 5. So from your E chord, you just go. You hear that in the doors, right here. Then you hammer on the ring finger. E7. I love the doors. Robbie Krieger's probably one of the reasons I'm playing at SG right now. You also hear that flat 5 and Walk This Way. That's the flat 5, kind of dark, kind of crazy. You don't stay on it. You use it to bridge between the 4. It's like a passing tone between the 4 and the 5. Another thing you can do from the E shape is this. You're like, that kind of stuff in Voodoo Chow. What Jimmy's doing, he's covering those 2 strings, 2 and 1, at the 3rd fret. It's what you call a 7 sharp 9. This is a 7, as discussed. This G up here, we're going to call a sharp 9. So, you hear that in, as I said, Voodoo Chow. You hear it in Smokestack Lightning. I like this right here. Right there. 7 sharp 9. Another option you have from the E shape is this. This is the first 3 notes of a full E minor scale. In a minor pentatonic, you have this. This is 1 to flat 3. This right here is 1, 2, flat 3. It sounds like the Karate Kid. For y'all know, he's doing the crane. He's going ba ba ba. Right? It's really cool. Anyway, if you do that, or if you reverse it and pull it off, I'm pulling from the 3rd fret to the 2nd, then 2nd open. Then on the 2nd string, same thing. That would be the flat 7, major 6, and 5 of the chord. But you don't have to know that. You can just go. Hear Brian Setzer do that kind of stuff. It's kind of got a rockabilly vibe to it. And then one more thing you can do from the E shape is this thing that Jimmy does. It's super cool. He's here at the D, which is the flat 7. Bends it like a whole step. So you're bending D to E. Okay. When you bend it, let your hand roll back, then you roll forward. I slipped there. Then you let the 3rd string slide right underneath your fingertip and you go. You grab it. You bend it and you pull it down. Then you resolve. Back to the. So I like bending there. And then I go to the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and bend that. All right, so to recap, you got hammer-ons with the fretted fingers. You got the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And then you have the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Then you get the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. You can lay your ring, you can rock that ring finger down to the 4. Come back to the hammer on. There. You got the flat 5th. You got the 7 sharp 9. You got this minor, and then kind of major pentatonic, Brian Setzer thing, and then you have Jimmy's. Get really familiar with all those licks, so that way, when you learn a specific song, you see it in the context of all these little options you have in the E shape. It's not just a bunch of gestures you're trying to remember. You can see it in the context of hammer on 4 to 5, hammer on flat 7 to 1, flat 5th, flat 3rd, up to the octave, and 1. Furthermore, I know that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of songs that use this E shape. Please leave comments, tell me more, remind me of the ones I haven't thought of. I look forward to hearing what you come up with. I'll see y'all soon.